HOA Karen shoots down my drone. She didn't know it's a federal felony that I spent 30 years in the United States Air Force, retiring with the rank of colonel. I have piloted C-130 Hercules transport aircraft into active combat zones under heavy fire, managed complex airspace logistics for massive NATO exercises across Europe, and oversaw classified drone reconnaissance operations in the Middle East during the height of the conflict. I have forgotten more about aviation law than most people will ever learn. I know the Federal Aviation Regulations, or FARs, better than I know the back of my own hand. I know that the National Airspace System is exclusively federal jurisdiction controlled by the FAA, and I know that interfering with an aircraft, manned or unmanned, is a federal felony punishable by significant prison time. My name is Isaac, and when I finally hung up my flight suit and retired, I wanted to turn my lifelong passion for aviation into a peaceful, profitable small business. I started a commercial drone photography company called Eagle Eye Aerials. I am FAA Part 107 certified, fully insured, and licensed to operate commercially. I don't fly toys. I fly high-end cinema rigs, specifically a DJI Matrice 600 Pro with a Zenmuse camera gimbal. It is a 6-rotor heavy-lift hexacopter that costs as much as a Honda Civic. To me, it is a professional tool, a livelihood, and a marvel of engineering. But to Becky, the paranoid, racist, and power-hungry HOA president of Oakwood Terrace, I was nothing more than a peeping Tom with a fancy toy. Becky was a woman who believed that her property rights extended from the grass in her yard all the way up to the stratosphere. She moved into the subdivision about a year ago and immediately started a crusade against what she called privacy violations. But let's be honest about what it really was. She hated that a black man lived in the estate house at the end of the block. She hated that I drove a nice truck. And she absolutely loathed that I had military-grade equipment in my garage. She started by spreading rumors on the neighborhood Facebook page, claiming that I was using my drones to spy on people's swimming pools and peer into their bedroom windows. It was ridiculous. My lenses are wide-angle cinema glass designed for landscape surveying and real estate marketing, not telephoto lenses for spying. I have absolutely zero interest in seeing Becky in her swimsuit, or out of it. I tried to explain this to her at a community meeting once. I brought my flight logs, my certification, and examples of my work. She didn't look at them. She just crossed her arms and said, "I know what you people do. You watch. You wait. We don't want your kind of surveillance here." The conflict simmered for months, marked by her shouting at me whenever I loaded my truck in fines for commercial vehicle storage that I threw in the trash. But it all came to a violent head on a Thursday afternoon. I had been hired by the city council, a government contract, to film promotional footage for the new Greenway Park initiative. The park borders our neighborhood, and the flight path required to get the cinematic sweeping shots took me over the neighborhood common areas and streets. These are public thoroughfares. I had filed my flight plan with the FAA. I had checked the NOTAMs, notices to airmen. I was wearing my neon yellow safety vest that says FAA licensed pilot. I had my son, Marcus, acting as my visual observer, which is required by law. I was professional. I was legal. I was hovering at about 200 feet AGL above ground level, getting a beautiful panoramic shot of the tree line meeting the subdivision when I heard the screaming. It cut through the hum of the rotors, even from a distance. I looked down from my monitor. Becky was standing in the middle of the cul-de-sac, wearing a floral bathrobe and fuzzy slippers. But what she was holding wasn't a cup of coffee. It was a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun. She was aiming it at the sky, swinging the barrel wildly. "Get away from my house," she screamed, her voice cracking with hysteria. "I see you. You pervert. Stop spying on me." My visual observer, Marcus, tapped my shoulder urgently. "Dad, she's armed. She's got a gun." I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the wind. I immediately initiated the return-to-home protocol to bring the aircraft back to the landing zone safely and de-escalate the situation. "Becky," I shouted from the sidewalk, keeping my hands visible but holding the controller. "Put the gun down. I am a licensed pilot conducting a city survey. I am landing the aircraft." "Liar," she shrieked, spinning to face me, then looking back up at the drone which was descending automatically. "You're looking at my daughter. You're a predator. I'm protecting my property." She didn't wait for the drone to land. She didn't listen to reason. She raised the shotgun to her shoulder. She tracked the large, slow-moving drone like it was a clay pigeon at a skeet range. Boom. The sound was deafening in the quiet, manicured suburb. It echoed off the brick houses like a cannon shot. The buckshot tore through the carbon fiber rotors, shattered the camera lens, and shredded the battery housing. My controller screen went black instantly. The drone, my $15,000 Matrice 600, my livelihood, plummeted out of the sky. It fell 200 feet and smashed into the asphalt of the cul-de-sac with a sickening, heartbreaking crunch of plastic, glass, and expensive electronics. Smoke started to rise from the punctured lithium batteries. Got it, Becky cheered, actually pumping the shotgun to eject the shell. I got the spy. I got him. I didn't run. I didn't scream. I didn't attack her. I felt that cold, icy calm that comes over you in the cockpit when an engine goes out or when the radar lock warning screams in your ear. I handed the dead controller to Marcus. Call the police, I said, my voice steady. Tell them shots fired. And call the FAA regional office. Ask for Agent Henderson. Tell him we have a Title 18 violation. I walked into the street, keeping a wide berth. Becky was standing over the smoking wreckage, looking triumphant, like a hunter with a trophy buck. That'll teach you, she sneered, pointing the shotgun barrel at the ground, thankfully, but keeping her finger near the trigger. Keep your toys out of my sky. We don't want you people watching us. I told you I'd handle it. Becky, I said, stopping 20 feet away, engaging my command voice. You just committed a federal felony. That was not a toy. That was a registered civil aircraft. Shooting it down is legally the same as shooting down a police helicopter or a Boeing 747. It falls under 18 U.S. Code Section 32, destruction of aircraft or aircraft facilities. It's a toy, she laughed, kicking a piece of the carbon fiber arm. And it was trespassing. I have the castle doctrine. I can defend my home. The castle doctrine applies to your house and the immediate threat of bodily harm, not the national airspace system 200 feet above the street, I informed her. And discharging a firearm within city limits is another felony. And reckless endangerment. You didn't just break a toy, Becky. You broke your life. She rolled her eyes. My husband knows the sheriff. I'll get a fine. You'll get evicted. Then the siren started. The police response was massive. When dispatch hears shots fired in a residential neighborhood, they don't send one car. They send everyone. For cruisers skidded to a halt at the entrance of the cul-de-sac, tires smoking. Officers poured out, taking cover behind their doors, AR-15s drawn and leveled at Becky. Drop the weapon, the lead officer screamed. Becky looked confused, as if she couldn't understand why the police were shouting at her. It's okay, she yelled back, waving the hand that wasn't holding the gun. I was just shooting a drone. I'm the HOA president. Drop it now or we will shoot. The officer roared. Becky finally realized the gravity of the situation. She dropped the shotgun on the grass and put her hands up. She was immediately tackled, cuffed, and dragged to the hood of a cruiser. Sheriff Miller, a man I play poker with on Friday nights, walked up to me, shaking his head. He looked at the smoking pile of plastic that used to be my business asset. He looked at the shotgun. He looked at Becky, who was currently screaming about her rights. Colonel, Miller nodded, tipping his hat. Everyone okay? Marcus good. No injuries, Sheriff, I said. But I have a destroyed commercial asset valued at $15,000, a lost government contract, and a hostile shooter who discharged a weapon toward my son. He was spying. Becky screamed from the back of the cruiser. He's a pervert. I have rights. Check his camera. He was filming for the mayor, Becky, Miller shouted back. We have the permits on file. You discharged a shotgun in a residential neighborhood. You're lucky you didn't kill a kid. And you're lucky the colonel here didn't return fire. They hauled her away. She was charged locally with discharging a firearm in city limits, reckless endangerment, and criminal mischief. But the local charges were just the appetizer. The FAA does not play around. I filed a full report with the Flight Standards District Office. 2 days later, federal agents visited Becky in the county jail. She was charged federally with destruction of an aircraft. In the federal system, there is no parole. She faced up to 20 years. The toy defense didn't work in court. My lawyer and the U.S. attorney argued that allowing civilians to shoot down drones sets a precedent that endangers all air traffic. The judge made an example of her. She pleaded guilty to avoid the maximum sentence. She got 5 years in federal prison and a lifetime ban on owning firearms. She was also ordered to pay restitution, $15,000 for the drone, $50,000 for the loss of business revenue and the canceled city contract, and legal fees. She had to sell her house to pay me. The HOA was mortified. They dissolved the privacy committee, and the entire board resigned to avoid a lawsuit from me. I used the restitution money to buy an even bigger drone, the new Matrice 300 RTK. I named it the Becky. And now, when I fly over the neighborhood to check my gutters or film the sunset, the neighbors don't run for their guns. They wave, because they know the colonel is watching over them, and the skies are safe. Becky thought she owned the sky, but she found out the hard way that the federal government disagrees. That I have a question for you guys. Do you think 5 years in prison is fair for shooting a drone? Or is it too harsh for destroying a machine? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed seeing this trigger happy Karen get grounded for life, smash that like button and subscribe.